먼저 터치패드를 찍는 선수가 다음 라운드로 올라가는 형식으로 진행이 되겠습니다. 준비가 되면 곧바로 오후 8시부터 여자 16강전 스피드로 진행을 해보도록 하겠습니다. 잠시만 기다려 주십시오.
Hello and welcome to the IFSC Speed Finals. It's time for 16 men and 16 women to compete on that speed wall in front of us, 15 meters high, 5 degrees overhanging, and I have an absolute legend in the commentary box. That word is overused, but this man absolutely is. Albert Oak, how are you doing, sir?
Well, I will have to correct you on the legend, just like my last name. I'm just an okay guy. I'm just trying my best out here.
That is the cheesiest thing I've ever heard you say.
Thank you very much.
We're going to roll with it though. Look, Albert, tell us, for those who don't know you, who are you, what do you do?
I'm sort of an international coach at this point. I'm an analyst. I'll be welcome to that title. I've made YouTube videos in the past. People have recognized me from all factors of climbing so far. And now I'm here coaching some of the best. We've gone to the Olympics. We've gotten a few people into the finals. And I represent as many people as possible. And I will help anyone.
Well, hang on, some of the best. You coach the best. You know, Sam Watson is out there, the current world record holder. You kind of took him, really, from a place where he wasn't the record holder, he wasn't that good, into this position. And you work with lots of other athletes as well. How do you do it, Albert?
It's been a very arduous journey where we were going into the unknown. And when you're exploring into the unknown, you don't know what's next. And we would often test ideas and concepts that have never been done before. And we just guessed, kind of. It's almost like a little bit of a bet and a gamble, an educated guess, and it's been succeeding, and I've been able to transfer that knowledge to other athletes that I've been working with. I have a few into the finals right now from different nations. It's pretty expansive, and my only goal is to keep studying the route, and I climb myself still just so I can learn more and see how far we can take this sport, because I think it's going to be the next big thing, and if it already isn't.
I absolutely agree with you. It is the next big thing. And talking about big things in a seamless transition, Afriet Limpanijpakde, the first Thai athlete, speed athlete, competing for his country and in the finals, and you coach him. Just tell me a little bit about that man.
I will say I haven't really fully coached him much, but like in this past week, we've been going to the sessions together and helping him out. I told him, hey, I'm going to adopt you a little bit, and from going on, hopefully we can work a lot more together. He's had some crazy skin splits, and I just put super glue all over his fingers so they wouldn't bleed everywhere. This is really monumental because the more nations that are going to be making the finals diverse means that, hey, other countries, you can make it too. It's possible with minimal resources and just hard work, dedication, and smart thinking. You can go very far to the highest stages of climbing.
Absolutely, and it's right what you say, because all you really need to bring speed climbing to, let's say, a developing country is a speed wall, one route, and very limited equipment. This sport has the potential to reach so many people. That's exciting for me.
Absolutely. One of the interesting things is the internet has connected so many athletes together. In fact, at this competition, I'm representing the Kuwait Federation, and the guy I'm coaching, Nasser, he contacted me through Instagram. And we've created a really great relationship. He even flew out to Salt Lake for a major training camp. We've had about a week and a half here, even in Seoul. And within a month, he went from, I think 8.2, 8.4, all the way down to today. He could have ran under 6 for sure, but he slipped on the last move. But his now IFSC PR is 6.5. And I think he can go even further than that, and it's really cool to share this great sport with other nations.
Absolutely, and I think Nasser will pop into the commentary box when you have to go and coach your athletes. We're going to tag teaming you in and out, I think.
He's a great, well-spoken person, and I'm excited for him to share his story a little bit on the live stream.
Me too, and we did chat to him today, and that interview is going to be in the World Climbing Club, which is a free-to-watch YouTube show. We do it every single day. Today's episode from yesterday is out, and not only have we got all the highlights from the rounds, we have interviews like the one with Nasser, behind-the-scenes stuff and more. So go to YouTube and subscribe, please. Now, we're looking at our finalists here. We've seen the men, we're looking at the women, and we've got a couple of people who are retiring after this competition. Aspar and Neural as well. It's going to be sad to say goodbye to them.
It's going to be sad and a beautiful send-off. I think they will show their absolute heart and spirit on the wall. Tetap Semangat, which translates roughly to keep spirit. I think they will do that, and they will show it to the world. It's crazy that Aspar is well over 30. He's almost 40. He has children, I believe, and he's going off into a new chapter of life, but we will all follow his footsteps.
I'm a bit depressed that he's nearly 40 years old. So am I, and he looks much better than me.
Hey, I mean, it just shows that there is no age limit, and you just keep climbing until you can't climb anymore.
All right, well, they will be competing in a minute. There are some of our athletes down at the front. We've got a couple of Boulder lead in there, lots of speed climbers who didn't make it through. And it's lovely to see, isn't it, everyone sort of supporting each other. And, you know, earlier on in the qualification, Annie Sanders was in the audience yesterday's, well, I'm not going to say what colour, but she was a medalist from yesterday. It's great, isn't it? And have you noticed since the Olympics that the sort of word of speed has spread a bit?
I think, if I'm correct, Sam Watson's world record video is the most most viewed single piece of climbing content out on the internet.
Wow. All right, well, we're going to get cracking then. Our first race, Rajia Salsabilia on the left-hand side, Ren Masatu on the right. And Albert will be having a look at the beta as we go along here because he literally can recognize just the craziest things.
Ren is one of the tallest Japanese and youngest Japanese athletes. She is very fast and honestly making, I believe this is her second final, or maybe second or third after Brian Song. So, but I mean, it's Rajia. It's
one of the best, eh?
One of the best.
And remember, this first round is the slowest versus the fastest. So Ren is going to be up against it, but speed climbing, anything can happen. So the audience will drop into silence. We wait for starters' orders.
Ready.
No full starts in our first race. What a start from Ren, but she's dropping a little bit behind Rajia now. Rajia speeding her way up through the top of the wall, and she does take it.
I've talked about this type of dyno before, but Rajia recently adopted the sort of Chinese middle dyno that is more accredited towards shorter athletes. And they sort of flick their right foot onto the side ball of this hold and bounce back forward. Before, the main problem when people would end up sort of just smearing on the wall to get their feet back up, and it's a very waste of time. It's almost 3 movements, where in this way it's just 2 movements. So it's a very unique type of dyno, and it's being more widely adopted, and I think it's a really good adaptation if you're a shorter athlete.
Interesting. Okay, so that's, yeah, these minutiae of the beta, which is why we've got Albert here in the commentary box, because stuff like that, I really struggle to spot it, to be honest, when it's full speed.
I mean, it happens so quick with any of these athletes. Truly within a blink of a second, it's gone.
All right, well, next race, Susan Nuri Hadia. I murdered that name. And Alveni Khadija on the left-hand side. So 2 Indonesian teammates up against each other. Alveni on the left, as I said, and Susan on the right.
Recently, I heard that South Korea and the Indonesian team had a training camp prior to this, and they were all running very fast times. So we'll see what they're capable of currently on this run.
Yeah, it's like Indonesia loses some legends and they're gaining more and more every time I seem to see them.
There's like 8 more ready to take your spot at any given moment.
Unreal. Well, here we go. 7.38 PB versus 7.39. Nothing to call on paper here.
Ready. Let's go.
Well, Susan's faster off the blocks and she's maintaining that lead through the middle of the wall and pulling ahead now as she reaches. Watch that right lane. Can she hold on? Yes, she can. Susan takes it.
An absolutely close matchup, and truly you could not call it beforehand. They had very similar betas all the way up until the top section, whereas Susan opted for the more older classic beta versus Alveni using the more I believe it's more accredited towards like the Polish sort of top section. It's very similar to what Olia Miroslav does.
So this kind of skip section there, yeah. So they kind of turn the body a little bit.
You just go drop knee, drop knee, drop knee with your right foot over and over and over again. It kind of looks fun, and I've tried it a few times and been a bit too big, but it's quite fun.
Yes, and the world record holders, well, actually, Sam Watson is here, but Alexander Miroslav is not. 6.06 is her world record. You never know, but unlikely, I think.
Have to give a shout out to Li Juandeng against Miroslav in the grand final.
Oh, yes.
She skipped 6-2. She has never done 6-2 in competition. she went 6-3 to 6-1.
Yeah,
that is...
it's the best race I think I've ever watched. Because I thought Alexandra would run away with it, and she did not.
Yeah.
Li Zhong nearly had her at the top. All right, well, she is on the left, the winner in Briançon as well. So definitely the favourite here, but she's up against Puja on the right-hand side, another Indonesian powerhouse.
She was also in the FISU finals, and she had a great time there. I think she enjoyed it as more of a fun comp, which they really don't get that many of.
No, that's a good point. Every comp is super pressurised at the moment, isn't it? Right, here we go.
Ready.
Well, it is fast from Li Zhong. Can she keep it together? We're looking out for slips here. It's super smooth from the Chinese athlete, and she does take it with not the fastest time we've seen.
It seemed as if knew she was playing a little bit on the safer side. She is definitely an athlete, and in fact, a lot of the Chinese athletes sort of ramp up as the competition goes. I don't know if that's something they're taught or just something that's natural in their training abilities, but by the fourth run, they're at peak level.
But is that not risky? Because if you're holding yourself back, do you lose some of that flow?
Absolutely. Sometimes you're going too slow, and then when you try to push for your limit, then you almost get caught off guard. That's one of the most common sort of reasons why people fall is they start going too fast for their own good. And it's a good and bad problem to have because okay, you're going faster, but then now your feet don't know where they exist and you start losing yourself in space.
Yeah, so just I'm laughing at that image of some climbers running in midair. Okay, next race, Shakwin Zhang on the left, Karen Hayashi on the right. Team Japan, wow, you need to start working with Team Japan. They're up and coming.
They're doing incredible. There's Shuto Fuzino. He's one of the up-and-coming Japanese athletes. We sort of have a ritual where I bring him a tomato because he dislikes tomato. And so I've been helping him a little bit online as well, Jun Yasukawa online about their beta. So I kind of virtually work with them on Instagram.
Gary, you work with everyone, you do. The most connected man in speed climbing, unreal. Right, here we go. Shakwin Zhang on the left, Karen Hayashi on the right.
Ready. Let's go.
Well, Chinese athlete speeding away, but look at this. Oh no, it is a slip from Karen. She goes down, and Shakwin will slow things down towards the top, make sure of it. Did you catch what happened there?
I think she missed the hold. I will say this competition is a little bit interesting in hold selection because they're the 2020 Volks edition holds, which is a little bit smaller than the 2021 set that most of the competitions this year, I believe, had.
See, I never understand that because everything on this wall is measured, throughout the world to make sure of world records, and yet we have different hold sets.
We have standards and there's rules and regulations for homologation. However, there are differences that I don't think IFSC quite understand yet because we as athletes run the laps thousands and thousands of times. We know the small difference. 2020 is marginally smaller by a few millimeters, and we can feel it. If you're coming from holds that are of smaller, older generation, you go to this, it's going to feel really good. So I actually have a lane in Momentum in Utah where it's old holds and you train on that, so if you ever go to a bigger holds you feel like it's really juggy.
Oh, that's an interesting idea. Because these two sets of holds, it's just been confusing me for a while, and I'm sure at some point there'll just be one set of holds, but not quite yet.
I think it's nearing there. I'm pretty sure next season you will not see 2020 holds anymore.
There we go. Jimin Huang on the right from Korea. This Korean crowd's going to get behind her. She's against Zhao Weifei on the left-hand side, so really up against it. But this Korean crowd has been great for their athletes.
Ready.
So Weifei is a little bit ahead as we near the middle part of the wall. Now she speeds things up. The crowd are getting behind Jimin, but she is going to lose this one. And yes, it looked to me like Weifei was very, very low on that finishing pad there.
Yeah, it seemed like she clipped just the bottom. Maybe it's intentional. Something that Sam and I even did, we made like a tape bracket of the exact bottom of the top pad. So he would just practice clipping the bottom because it saves, this amount, like subtle amount of seconds in here and there. And so some athletes are intentionally just clipping the bottom, and it looks a little dangerous, but it's well practiced.
Wow, I can't believe you practiced that, because that is obviously risky, but I understand it would save, fractions of a second.
It's the difference of winning a race. It's happened many times before. It's like 0.001 difference.
Wow. Man, it's just the levels to this game. Right, Nurul Ikma on the left-hand side. Tamara on the right. I don't know Tamara too well.
She's from Kazakhstan. She's actually a mother, and her beta is awesome. I've talked about this beta before, the sort of Chinese top section. She is one of the new female adopters of this beta. Desak actually was doing it earlier, but unfortunately she false started, and so she was disqualified. So now there's about 3-4 athletes doing it.
Okay, interesting. So Tamara, let's see if she can do this. You're going to have to spot this for me on the replays afterwards. So Nurul on the left, her last ever World Cup. Let's see if she can write a storytale script, and she is off to a good start. But Tamara now is going to take this if she can hold it together. And it is going to be her, yes, beating Nurul there. Her World Cup career over. So sad to see her go like that. But Tamara, wow, that's impressive.
It is a tale of two stories on this. really happy for Tamara, but it is obviously sad that Nurul will leave and bow out with this final race. I believe she'll always have wanted more, but this was really incredible for Tamara because she's on the older end of athletes, a mother, and she's going to World Cup finals, winning races. Like, what more can you ask?
Absolutely.
Also, pants are amazing.
I was going to say, and I thought maybe I wouldn't, but that is some stylish choice of outfit there. I like that. I'm not sure it's team kit. Maybe it should be team kit.
Maybe it should be. I'll wear it.
I would wear it in a heartbeat. Right, Jimin Jong on the left, Haranam Song on the right. Now, Jimin Jong beaten in Brian Song, silver medal there. I have a feeling she's out for a bit of revenge here.
She's the FISU champion, so she wants some winning. She wants some hardware.
Yes, she does. And this Korean crowd won't know who to cheer for, but Jimin Jong is the favourite here. And you get the feeling if she can move through this race, she's got a real shot at the big final later on.
Interesting, Hanariam is the sister of a famous K-pop star.
And your marks.
Yeah.
Wow.
Very famous.
K-pop star and a speed climber. What a family. So Hanariam on the right.
Ready.
Jimin Jong on the right, left. It was fast from both athletes. Haran actually ahead at that point, but now Jimin Jong starts to put the pressure on. She skips her way up, but Jimin Jong cruising at the moment, I think.
A pretty good time for Hanariam as well, but Jimin Jong is out for blood. She wants to win races. She's coming off of a victory at FISU. She's ready to win, and she's in top form.
Yes, she is, and this crowd will go crazy if she gets anywhere near small final or big final. And look at this from her, nice and clean. She's got more left in the tank if she needs it, but a cruisy just over 7 seconds time there. Good work from her.
Her coach is a good friend of mine, Son Min. He's used to be Korea's champion, but he had an unfortunate accident. I think he was on a scooter and got hit by a car, and he no longer competes, but he's a coach and he's raising the next talent, and he's obviously doing a great job with them.
Well, USA has their first athlete out. Sophia Criscio on the right-hand side, Shingun Wang on the left. Now, Sophia is up against it here, isn't she?
It's a tough race, but Sophie is one of the most consistent athletes I've ever seen. She can do almost repetition times with a weight vest. It doesn't matter what situation she gets. But one thing that she does, we talk about among the US athletes, is her smear on the Tomoa is very sideways, which is really good because you get a lot of friction out of it, but it's hard unless you're flexible.
All right, here we go. And Sophie or Sophia,
Ready?
what does you prefer?
I think Sophie.
All right, so Sophie off to a fast start, but look at that from Shengun Wang there. Super fast, and she is starting to pull ahead, but Sophie is fighting her all the way, but she goes eventually. Shengun Wang taking that victory. And just before we continue, we should mention, we keep talking about FISU. FISU is the University Games. It was in Koper in Slovenia just after the World Cup. I think you can actually still go back and watch some of those on YouTube somewhere, but yeah, good competition.
Yeah, I guess I'm just saying the acronym, assuming that everybody knows. But
I was doing the same.
climbing's there's so many miniature competitions here and domestic ones, but this one was pretty big because it's a time for the university athletes to really show what they're capable of.
Yeah, I would have loved to have been at that one. I remember a few years ago in Innsbruck, I did that one. That was super exciting. Okay, we're time for the men. Do you have to go yet? When do you have to leave us?
I'll probably step out if Nasser comes here, or
Okay.
after the round is over. We'll see what situation looks at that.
No worries. Okay, well, that's the results there, confirmation. The athletes who lose, they get knocked out. The others progress until we get to our final and small final. Small final is the race for the bronze medal. Fourth and third decided. Big final, gold medal and silver.
Some nerdy side chatter I like to talk about is whether they do shirt tucked in, shirt tucked out, or lanyard on left, right, or center.
Well, the other thing I want to talk about is the name pad on the back, which it seems to be in a sport that's all about speed. That thing should be like ironed onto the uniform or something.
They're all peelable and stickers, and they could stick it on flat, but they don't want to. They don't want to ruin their shirt. I'm like, come on, it's gonna create drag. You're becoming a flag.
Exactly. Yes, it flaps around sometimes.
We already know everyone's a superhero, so you already have a cape that's imaginary. It's okay. You don't need one bibbed on you.
Okay, I'm glad this annoys you as much as it annoys me, because it's something I just want to see improved.
I miss the Adamandra spandex. We should bring that back.
I'm not sure I miss it.
Really?
But it was certainly an experience to watch.
He was the most aerodynamic out of everyone.
That is true, yes. All right, Kamal Katabin on the left-hand side, Sebastian Luca on the right. And Sebastian, this young man here, has just worked so hard all the time. I see him in the gym on Instagram. It's incredible.
He's been like one spot out so many times and finally got in. Kirimal actually changed his start sequence. I made a Instagram reel about the swing start, and he kind of went backwards. He doesn't swing start anymore. We're kind of sad.
Ah, and why was that? Did it just not suit him?
It's difficult, and the timing's hard. But he changed his top section to skipping hold 14, so he's probably the shortest athlete doing it currently.
Ah, well, keep an eye out for that. Kermel Katabin on the left, Sebastian Luca on the right. Big start from Sebastian there. That was explosive. But Kermel slips, and then Sebastian slips. It's back and forth. Who's going to take this and recover better? Kermel does.
Wow, as dramatic as it possibly could be. Synchronized diving, synchronized climbing, synchronized slipping. Wow.
Oh, I think Sebastian will be look back on that and rue that, because he had a real chance to beat Kermel then.
They were even. Sebastian definitely had a little faster reaction time. Still keeping up for the most part. Wow.
It was literally identical, almost, what their legs swung in the same way.
Right there, Kirimal skips and can.
But Kermel's, yeah, it was his recovery was impressive there.
One of the most impressive things about the Indonesians is they can accelerate at any point. And when I talk about acceleration, of course we're accelerating throughout the whole route, but can you go from a zero stop standstill to 100% max as fast as possible at any point in the route? And they can do that.
Absolutely right. Yaroslav to catch on the left, Eric Neuer on the right. And just a reminder of telling people, there's going to be a special speed competition, 4 lanes, held in Madrid sometime in October, around about the 20th, I think. And we've got an interview about that coming in today or tomorrow's World Climbing Club. 4-lane speed climbing. Can't wait for that. Right, Eric Neuer on the right side, 5.01. Yaroslav to catch, 5.09 PBs. Oh, it's big from Eric Neuer. This man wants to win it, but Yaroslav's coming back at him now as we reach the top of the wall. It's going to be Yaroslav with a 5.37. Oh, you could tell from his reaction that's important for him.
That was a big deal of a race. It's very, very close. They were neck and neck the whole way. This is a race that they've had many, many times, and it's always one or the other, but this time Yaroslav was on the better end.
Yaroslav had to come back at him. He was behind here, started accelerating in the middle.
I think Eric just missed the dyno a little bit, and maybe he had a small driver on this right hand, and he had a stutter step before the final top section. I'm a little biased. I'm a little bit sad. I've been working with Eric for a little bit of time now, and I'm sad that he lost, but he is always in great spirits, and he's always a great camaraderie, and he's always a great athlete.
All right, next race, Aspar on the right, his final World Cup of the season. Sorry, of the year, ever. Not just the season, ever. And then Peng Wu on the left. Now, Aspar, as much of a legend as he is up against someone who is super hungry to take gold medals.
One of the only 3 people have gone 4-7, and he's one of them. This is absolutely a difficult race, but it's Aspar, the legend, history, he can do anything.
And he was so relaxed today, just chatting to everyone. He's always such a pleasure to watch out on the stage. Now, uttering the last few words to himself, but look at that PB from Peng Wu, 4.77. That is just so quick. So, here we go. The athletes approach the wall again. Aspar on the right, Peng Wu on the left. But it's very quick from Aspar, but Peng Wu now accelerates as Aspar slips twice. Peng Wu also slips, but it is all over. Not the way Aspar would have wanted to have gone out.
We would have always wanted to see more from him as well, and it's unfortunate that's the way the race ends, but he's had a beautiful career, and everyone in the audience is going to cheer him on and appreciate the work he's done for the entire world of speed climbing.
Absolutely. Well, let's watch this race again. It wasn't perfect from Peng Wu. He did actually have a bit of a moment at the top, but generally there was a bit of a pop, but he was so far ahead at that point.
It's quite a rare sight to see Peng Wu slip. He often doesn't slip. He's one of the most consistent athletes, so I think he probably had a little heart attack there as well.
Yes, absolutely. All right, Rahajoy Samsa on the left-hand side, Shinwan on the right. China versus Indonesia again, these 2 dominant forces in speed climbing.
This race is pretty important depending on the world ranking standings. If Jingsheng wins or has a faster time than Eric, I believe he might get 3rd.
Okay.
Depends. I'll have to double check on that. So it's kind of interesting. There's a lot on the line here, more than just the first round of the race.
Yeah, agreed. We give away the overalls in podiums after these events. The Boulder was yesterday, speed today, and of course, lead on Sunday. So Jingsheng on the right, and Samsa on the left. But it is very fast from Jingsheng there, and look at this as he pulls ahead, but it's close, no, right at the very, very top. What happened there, Albert?
I think just at the very last pinch that Nursamsa stepped on, it clipped. It's very, very deadly. That is one of the most common slips using that top beta. It feels like you're about to hit the buzzer, and then it slips out under you, and it feels like the whole world is going away from your grasp.
Well, look, Albert, we've got NASA in the commentary box. I know you've got Sam Watson and Afiat coming up. Do you want to go and come back after their races?
That would be incredible. I think it's time to have Nasser in the booth and let him tell a little bit about his story.
All right, see you later, Albert. Right, well, as we swap things around here, I'm bringing in Nasser, who is the first climber from Kuwait. How are you tonight?
I'm pretty good. Thank you so much for having me in the commentary box.
It's an absolute pleasure, and you're about to watch a legend here. So Vedrik Leonardo, past world record holder, Konstantin Pavlenko on the right-hand side. Someone like Vedrik you must look up to.
Of course, he's a very humble person. He was one of the first people to talk to me when I went to the Asian Games, and he is an incredible athlete.
I can't wait to watch this race, and we'll talk more about you and your background because it's fascinating, the journey you've been on to get to this stage. But right now, the athletes' turn. Ukraine versus Indonesia. Here we go. What a race this could be. Konstantin, I think, the underdog here. But Vedrik can make mistakes. Well, it's good for both, and Konstantin exploded off the pads, but Vedrik is having to pull something back, and he does take it at just over 5 seconds. Woo, that was a close race.
That was very close. That was a good performance from Konstantin. He put up a fight against Vedrik, but unfortunately he did not get the win this time.
No, he didn't. So Vedrik progresses on. But look at that start. Konstantin way quicker off the pad, but Vedrik at the top. He's like grease lightning through there. Look at this, powering up. And at the end, quite a way ahead.
He's one of the best fighters in the sport. He really wants it and fights for the win every race. And this is something to look up to and what makes him who he is. And yeah.
Absolutely. Well, here we go. World champion Matteo Zaloni on the right-hand side. He's up against Jun Yasukawa on the left. Now, Jun has really come on in the last couple of years or so, but so has Matteo Zaloni. He won his Olympic ticket and the World Championship in Bern, and this man can easily run under 5 seconds.
He has run multiple under 5s, and I think he was one of the first people to gain his Olympic ticket.
Yes, he was indeed. Yeah. So by winning that race at the World Champs, well, in the final race, it was actually a slip, but at that point, the top 2 went through. Didn't really matter. All right, so Matteo, as we see, 4.94, Yun, 5.16. Here we go. You can see the Olympic rings on Matteo's left arm there. There's a few athletes actually with tattoos, including Sam Watson to come in a minute.
Ready.
It's a fast start from both athletes. Matteo slightly ahead as we hit the midpoint. Can Matteo keep it together? He can. Oh, that was close to being under 5.
That was a very close race. That was a great run from both athletes. Matteo exploded off the start, and that was very beautiful. That was a great run from both athletes.
It really was, and I'm super impressed by Jun as well, and the whole Japanese team actually. One to watch for the future here, but Matteo Zaloni, he's done this 1,000 times. He's got absolute quality, and look at this at the top.
The top section is just very beautiful.
It is kind of split, isn't it, the speed wall into sections?
Yeah, there is the first move, which is very technical, the Tomoe skip, then you have the ladder, and then the dyno move, and there's very different variations for the start and the dyno, and also for the top section.
All right, well, here is Sam Watson with Olympic ring tattoos. He's the world record holder, and he's looking like an absolute unit. There's no other way to describe it.
Yeah, he's very athletic, very built. He's going against his teammate, very young Michael Holm, and very strong young athlete.
Michael, both of them with quite unique routines here. Sam Watson with that kick of the wall we expect, and yeah, the muscles that Sam Watson seems to have grown since the Olympics is incredible. It's like 3 kilos of muscle that boy was put on. Right, here we go.
Ready.
Oh, it's a full start from Sam Watson. The world record holder is out.
Well, that shows you that even the top can make mistakes and everybody's human. Unfortunately for Sam, it's sad to see, but maybe he can come back later next year. He's come back much stronger, hopefully.
Yeah.
And he's so happy for his teammate. You can see his sportsmanship. He is an amazing human being and a lovely person to be around with.
You could see almost the pad kind of slide, actually, on that one, which is a bit strange.
Yeah, that happened as well in qualifications. A lot of the times the pad kind of slipped for some of the athletes, me being one of them as well. But stuff like that happens, and we need to be prepared for these kinds of things.
Yeah, they did actually put that carpet in quite last minute, so yeah, interesting. But Sam Watson knocked out. Anyway, wow, what a moment that was. I mean, that's why we love sport, isn't it? Moments like that, the unexpected.
Now we have Amir and Pau. Pau ran a sub-5 in practice, and he is like a really great upcoming athlete, and he's here to show us what he got.
Yeah, so that's Afriat on the right-hand side. Thailand's first speed climber, his first competition and his first finals. What a moment for him. But he is up against Amir Maimuratov on the left, who has done it all. Here we go, and look at this from Afriat. Can he keep it together? Oh, no!
My God!
Oh, and he grabs his left leg. I think he's got an injury, actually. I don't know if it's cramp, but he is in some pain as he comes down on the wall here. I'm not quite sure what happens. I think he's certainly got an injury, and we will cut, hopefully, away from him to give him some space here. Exactly. Amir looking concerned, of course. Well, we will keep you updated with what's going on with that one. I'm not sure what exactly happened. Oh, look, it was his left ankle. It went lower down.
I think it rolled and
yes.
slipped off to the pinch of hole.
It did, and I don't want to see too much of this, but there was the roll, and it was a nasty one. It grabbed his leg there, obviously in some discomfort here. Well, hopefully we will cut away from these shots in a moment, because it's not what we want to be watching here. And very unlucky. I think his leg is okay. He is moving it.
자, 현재 RPW 선수에 대한 레고 체크가 있습니다. 참 여러분, 대회 성적도 중요하긴 하지만 첫째도 둘째도 셋째도 안전이 제일 중요하죠. 다시 한번 우리 RPW 선수에게 격려의 박수 드리겠습니다.
He appears to be getting up and hopefully good to go.
Yeah, we think he is okay. He comes off the stage, but that was a nasty, nasty injury from him. Well, our heart goes out to him. We hope he's okay. Well, we will move on here. Shock there in the audience, of course, but there is the audience, and Amir will take that. And we will now have a look at the results as they stand at the moment. Drama here. Well, here are confirmation of the results. Kermel Katabin and Yaroslav Tkach will move forward. That will be the next race. Peng Wu. So two Chinese athletes against each other. It's going to be a close one. Right, Nasser, look, tell me a bit about yourself here, because what a journey you did to get to this stage.
Well, it has been an incredible journey, and a lot of people helped me to come this far. Thanks to Albert Oak, my coach. He helped me so much, and Sam Watson. I met him in the Neom Beach Games. Such a lovely person. He hosted me, and when they took me in and taught me how to run on the speed wall, and I told them like I love speed, and since we don't have a speed wall in Kuwait, and I just train on a moonboard in my backyard, and I feel like I have some athleticism since I come from a track and field background. And I came to climbing very randomly at my last semester in college in Florida. I fell in love with the sport immediately.
What is it about speed? Because I've heard that from a few people. It just seems one of those sports that's so addictive.
It just has this adrenaline rush, and also, again, coming from track and field, you just really have that love of looking at the number go down and down. And I love calling the speed wall the forever project. You can always get better. Till this day, people are still working, even with 4.7s, and some people ran 4.6s in training. You can still see them studying and trying to get better.
It's what's so incredible about it, isn't it? Because that shaving off tiny bits of time, you know, and watching your improvements, it's what makes the sport really special. Right, Rajiet Sasabilet on the left,
Ready.
Susan on the right-hand side. So Rajiet versus Susan. Here we go, the two teammates against each other. Susan with a bit of a stumble, but she's recovered well here. Rajiet making some progress as she fires away up as Susan slips. Rajiet taking victory. Susan knocked out. Teammates I mean, I know you don't have any teammates, so you're not exactly
Yeah,
used to
unfortunately,
that.
I don't have teammates. It would be amazing to get some people more into the speed climbing world in Kuwait. Hopefully, somebody needed to take the first step, and I wanted to take this first step. And it's an honor that I represented Kuwait and to be the first athlete to do so. Hopefully, some people would be inspired and get on the wall and start climbing more. It's just a showcase. Even when we don't have anything, we can actually make it and do it. Like, this is the big stage. Every big name is here. And you just look at them and it's amazing.
It is amazing, and this sport has just come on. I mean, since I've started doing this job, things have got faster and faster, and just the qualifying times alone show that. Okay, Lee Juan Deng versus Shakwin Zhang for the next race. Two more teammates against each other here. Lee Juan Deng on the left-hand side, Shakwin Zhang on the right. Auto belays clipped on. The athletes climb with the auto belays. We used to have a very old system where someone would run backwards. Gladly things have improved quite a lot.
Thankfully, it changed. I used to see the videos and they were like just two belayers and somebody would run and pull the rope. It was such a mess.
Ready?
Absolutely. Well, much better now. Here we go. No full start. Shakwin Zhang ahead at the moment. We hit the mid part. Lee Juan Deng making some progress. It's going to be so close at the top.
Oh, this is one of the closest races we had today. This is amazing.
Lee Juan Deng, wow.
It is always very hard to, like, I feel like it's hard to race against a teammate because, like, you train together, you kind of, like, study the problem together, and you tackle it together, and now, like, you're on the stage against each other. Thankfully, I don't have that problem. But yeah, that is very amazing to see.
Without teammates, though, do you sort of lose a bit of motivation?
It is definitely hard to train by yourself, but I'm kind of used to it. But when I travel and have people with me, like Sam or anybody else to train with me, it is like a very great session, and it's so fun, and it's always such a change of pace. I do genuinely think you need people to push you to get a lot better, because you can progress by yourself, but you can always progress so much. It's like two people are better than one.
Absolutely. Oh, we've got Sam Watson. Sam, are you going to come join us in the commentary box? Yeah, go on then. Nasser, is that okay?
Yeah, that is... No, it's okay, it's okay.
Nasser, thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you so much for having me, and now I will
mate.
pass my microphone to Sam.
Okay, well, this is unexpected. Sam just literally ran across the stadium. Sam Watson in the commentary box. So, Sam, I'm so sorry, mate. Full start. We'll watch this and we'll talk about this, because Yafei is out on the left-hand side, Tamara on the right. Here we go. Tamara got lucky the next round, possibly, but can she do it again through this one? Yafei making some progress. She is going to take it. She does move forward. Tamara knocked out. Right, Sam, full start.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
It's all good. Unfortunately, there is not a homologation procedure for putting a mat with a good drag coefficient under the pad. So in this venue, both during my practice and qualifiers and then this final, the pad slipped out under my foot, and then I got the false start. So it is fine. It doesn't really feel like a loss, because it's really just happens sometimes. But congrats to Michael. I will be cheering him on as hard as I can in American advancing. So hope he goes all the way.
We saw that carpet slip, and I actually said it on air because I watched it happen. It's not great, not what we would want.
Yeah, unfortunately, the procedure for calling technicals and speed is like kind of messed up, and I just was like, there's no way I'm getting this technical. Good luck, man. To Michael.
Oh, well, that's amazing sportsmanship, Sam. Honestly, it's credit to you, sir. Right, final race in this round for the women. Jimin Jong on the left, and Sam, I want you to spot some beater for me here, because you're much better, obviously, at this to be. And then Shakwin Zhang Wang on the right-hand side. So here we go. The athletes clipped in. Deep breaths from Shakwin Wang there on the right. Jimin Jong, can the Korean progress? This crowd would love it if she does.
Yeah, Jimin unfortunately missed out on the Olympics, but she's such a strong athlete, and everyone here wants to see her do well.
Absolutely. So here we go. Can Jimin Jong hold it together? She's ahead at the moment, but a little bit hesitant. Oh, no, big slip from her.
And you can hear that Korean crowd really behind their athlete, but Jimin can be proud of her performance.
Did you see what happened exactly there, or should we watch it in replay?
Just a pop. She had definitely some speed behind her going through that. You can see a smile on her face. She really did give it her all, and that's something to be proud of in front of the home crowd. Yeah, so you look at the replay.
Yeah, let's
she goes up
see
some
this.
great movement, and then we have just a little bit of a pop right there. Her foot was just not quite up to the hold, but that happens sometimes when you're moving at a fast speed. You can't, one limb gets off a little bit, and then you go, and it messes up the entire momentum. But
it's interesting you say that, because speed climbing is all about momentum, isn't it? And the little mistakes can affect big time later on in the run.
yeah, absolutely, and it can lead to like a tiny little dry fire that causes you to get a little less momentum, and then that less momentum can totally mess you up in the sense that if you miss a hold, you clip it just like she did, then you can lose all your momentum and basically fall.
Wow, well, this is confirmation of those results. We'll now swap over to the men's side of things. Look, Sam, while I've got you here, we've got to talk about the Olympics. World record, but not a gold medal, but a medal for you. It must be an up and down of emotions.
Yeah, I think so. Obviously, the goal is always to win gold and to win every event you go to. But I didn't really approach it with the sense as it was an end-all be-all. I absolutely need to win a gold medal at this Olympics. I put in my training. I did exceptionally well in surrounding myself with people that could really help me build the way out. I modeled my structure after Yanya and her coach Roman. And doing that allowed me to be the best athlete I could be and approach it on the Paris Olympics day that I was giving it my all. Obviously, a couple things went wrong, and I lost a race in semifinals. But I think the story of getting a bronze medal in which you lose a race, lose the most important race of your life, and then come back, and then now you have the most important race again 5 minutes later, and you get a medal, and then you get to hold your own world record again by 0.01 seconds is a feat in itself. And to get to be the fastest Olympian, the fastest climber in the world. I captured world number 1 overall for the first time in my career, so I'm really happy. Obviously, I think I'm exceptionally happy for both Vidrik and Wu, who got above me. Reza as well. He had an exceptionally good competition, so I'm excited for the future of the sport, and I'm happy with my performance.
Me too, and it was a pleasure watching you and your reaction to that as well. Again, just an asset to me. Okay, Kerl Katabin on the left-hand side, Yaroslav Tkac on the right, and Albert has come back to the commentary box, but I think we're going to stick with Sam Watson. We're going to bring Albert in for a bit as well. I think Albert wants to talk, but right now we'll go through this race. Tell you what, Sam, do you want to talk to Albert?
I want to sign off on this and let Sam take over the rest of the broadcast, but in Korean, 감사합니다. 너무 좋았어요. 한국 너무 좋아요.
Thank you so much. That is, I have no idea what he said, but I appreciate it.
He said thank you to the viewers. I think there's a Korean broadcast as well. I'm not sure.
Yes, there is to our right. There's the Korean TV, I think. All right, Yaroslav Tkac. And there's something going on a little bit. A few rueful smiles. Maybe a technical here. Interesting. So we'll wait and see. Yaroslav trying to keep loose. And look, these moments, stuff does go wrong in speed climbing. How do you mentally keep yourself together here?
Yeah, so again, this is something that's unfortunate for me. That's why I'm here, is you can't call it technical after in speed. It has to be before or immediately after, and so you can't really do something. But I don't know what happened. I think, yes, there was my thing where I was like, I'm not going to get this technical. Then there was an injury delay, and then there was a whatever's happening here. Unfortunately, I don't really have a would tell us. Even just a text to like a group chat would be great.
We do have that, so hopefully the judges will be on it, but speed climbing tends to be so quick they might forget to message me. But yes, hopefully someone will let me know, because we're not entirely sure what is going on here. But we're busy, Karen, talking about you, which isn't too bad. So what is next for you? And also, in terms of off-season, because this is the last comp, when do you start to ramp back up the training, and are you having any time off?
Yeah, so I'm actually doing a couple more competitions. I'm doing an exhibition event in Madrid, which is going to be Madrid 4-speed, meaning it's a 4-lane event. So we're trying to propose to the International Olympic Committee to get another Olympic discipline, which is awesome because I can get more medals, where it's a 4-lane event, and it's sort of like maybe a 100-meter dash where there's a ton of different lanes, and there's 4 of them, and the first one to the top, and it's a different structure for competing rather than a bracket of 16. So it'll be very interesting to see if that comes, like if they can give us another medal event. Then we're potentially having a speed relay event as well, and so that would be really cool. So the future of speed climbing in the Olympics is definitely getting up there.
Absolutely, and that 4-lane event. Now, I'm being told that it's a technical incident about one of the screws on the wall, and you can see it here at the first hold. So, obviously a screw has come out of that first hold, and the route setters will just put that screw back into the first hold, because obviously we don't want that moving around, because as you said, the slightest thing can make such a difference to the athlete's run.
Yeah, and then it's really a game of part of speed climbing are Yaroslav and Kirimal composing themselves behind ISO, and who's going to win that battle of composure. And it'll be really interesting to see what that ends up being. I think Kirimal is in great shape right now. I think probably in one of the better shapes of all the athletes here. I know he just recently ran a 4.83 at his Indonesian national games, which was really cool to see.
Wow, and that 4.83, and you talk about those times because, I mean, I know you were running sub 5 before you officially ran sub 5, because those practice times are obviously not official times.
Yeah, I mean, you could debate. It was their Indonesian national games, so it's like they have a ton of different sports. It's actually really interesting as a foreigner to watch. There's like scuba diving and like all these other things. It's so fun.
Wow.
It's called Pawn, if you want to Google it and have a deep dive down the rabbit hole of random sports in Indonesia. But it was cool to see. He was in great shape. He won the event, set a new record for that event. So I'm excited to see if he can pull it off here in Korea as well.
Wow, well, I just want to give you some info, because I've been given some info. So, Lee Jong-dang has won the women's series, but the men's, I know you were going for the men's here. Now, if Matteo Zerloni wins the event, he will take the overall. If not, it's going to be you.
Really? Okay. Yeah, am I in 9th place currently of this comp?
I'm not entirely sure about that. I just know that information, but it's going to be quite cool, because you're going to either watch yourself win the overall or not. Which is going to be interesting. I feel for this poor route setter as well, who I don't think he's aware that his drilling skills are on national TV in that much detail. Mine would fail.
Yeah, I wish we had a camera on us. We could divert some attention. Are they?
Yeah, and this is the judge spotting it.
Yeah, that's a really cool thing to see. Obviously, it's creating a storyline. But yeah, if Matteo wins, he absolutely deserves the series. He's done every World Cup and go to the Olympics. So that's a really cool thing he's done. Yeah, I had 2 events and then won the last 2 of them. And then, yeah, we'll definitely see the math on that.
Exactly. Well, we are watching it as this carries on. Yeah, and that's overall title. It's an interesting one because it's something what I want to talk about more in IFSC competitions.
Absolutely.
Because we seem to not really mention it anymore, but it's such an important part, and it means that athletes can go to every single event.
Yeah, I think there could be some greater incentivization from the IFSC about what they do. Maybe even if it's as simple as just giving us like money for the overall series, or like a world champion title. Say they have for sports that are a very low margin of error, so like golf or Formula 1 racing or things like that. It really does matter because it's a testament to your ability to travel internationally and compete. Because in speed climbing, regardless of how good you are, if you have a 40% win rate, you're like really good.
Yeah.
Like I think Leonardo's is close up there. I think Marisol's is like 35, something like that, and she's widely considered the greatest of all time. So it's really incredible to see who does and doesn't, keep themselves together and go to all these, cities, and that's what you're doing on the circuit. And I think it does mean a lot versus just an Olympic title or a World Championship title.
I completely agree with you, and it's something I'm going to be pushing quite hard for next year. I'm going to be talking about it, whatever happens.
Yeah.
Right, well, I think we're nearly ready for our next race here. We had a technical incident. There's still a chair there, so it'll be a while. You said something earlier on that I wanted to ask about. You said you're modelling your training on Yanya. What did you mean by that?
Yeah, so I don't really want to put words in her mouth, but my coach from when I was a young child, his name is Kyle Klingskells, and then he's quite close friends with Roman Krajnik, which is Yanya's main coach. And the way that Yanya trains, what I've learned from talking to her and talking to Roman and talking to Kyle, is that she has a lot of people in her life in which she sort of delegates her task to. So she has a physical therapist and a trainer, and she has Roman, who's her climbing coach, and she has someone who helps her with her lifting, which isn't as much. But I think the ability to have people in your life that can just do things like that for me, it's like I have a nutritionist, I have a climbing coach, I have a strength and conditioning coach, and having that and allowing yourself to be, you're simply just executing those tasks and you're being who you are on the wall, really, really helps to take away the stress of trying to do everything at once and only embracing what you're really good at, which is being an athlete.
Yes, and that is fascinating because I see that when she does it, because she seems to compartmentalize things really well. Sometimes she'll be the public Yanya, like she was yesterday signing autographs. Sometimes she'll just be on it. Do you sort of separate yourself like that as well?
I think I can give myself a couple more years until I can reach that status. But yeah, I think it's a good one where you can have a public personality and you be an ambassador for your sport. But at the end of the day, she's where she is because she loves what she does, And when you have that feeling, you can't really get away with it. Like, you can't really say, oh, I'm, embracing the public side of things and I'm doing appearances and doing all these things. If you're a top athlete like she is, she loves being an athlete. So that's kind of not at the end of the day, at the start of the day. She wakes up and loves what she does. So I would say that's the most important factor.
Absolutely right. Well, here we go. It's fascinating, by the way, talking to you. You're very eloquent with the way you describe yourself and training as well.
Yeah, I've always wanted to do a commentating event. It's a blessing in disguise.
Right, Yaroslav Tkac on the right, and he'll be up against Kemal Katabin after this first race. Yaroslav is, it's still moving, isn't it? Look. This is not ideal for obvious reasons here. You could see it move when he pulled on that.
All right, Matt. Any other questions?
Yes, exactly. I'm just going to carry on filling and talking about... This is basically a one-on-one interview with Sam Watson, everyone, which is pretty amazing. Basically, what has impressed me about you is how much you've improved recently. Because, not recently, and I know it's been a lot of hard work, but how did you go from someone who wasn't competing for gold medals and speed records to the place you are now? I know you talked about, the things you already have discussed, but it's such an amazing jump.
Yeah, I think first the first step in making that leap is desire. The first step is every single competition, you're unhappy with your performance regardless of what it is. You're just like, man, I could have done better in some way. Even if you win, even if I've had events that I've won and I've been like, I'm looking at my videos afterward. And I think having that personality and having that just absolute desire to improve really is the baseline for getting better at these events and taking that leap from top 10 athlete, top 5 athlete to the best in the world or number 1 overall or world record holder or what have you. So I would say that's probably it, of just a desire to improve. And I do love the process. I do, like what I was saying, is I love waking up every morning and structuring my life around how do I pull on this plastic route a little bit faster.
And I was talking to your dad earlier on, and he was telling me how you're fanatical about things like, no chemicals in sofas and things like that. I'm sorry to have dropped you in it on this one, but talk to me a bit about that.
So my father probably told you the story of he buys a bunch of cheap clothes from Temu, and I got mad at him earlier this year because I didn't want him to wash his clothes from Temu with my really natural fiber clothes. So I'm a big fan of, not only for the ethical reasons of sustainability, of now that I have the means, I like to try and purchase things that will last me a long time and that are natural fibers and not going to pollute the ecosystem. So, wearing things like cotton, hemp, bamboo, and, not allowing my father to wash his Temu stuff and encouraging him to not buy stuff from Temu, but we're working on that one.
I think he will start listening to you. And look, talking about speed clubbing itself, a lot of people complain online. It's the same route. I completely disagree with it because I love the fact you refine the beta so much. But especially for the men's competition, is there a limit to this? Is there a ceiling where you just physically can't go any faster?
We are not there yet. I can definitively tell you we are a long way from the absolute peak. If you want to look up the world record progressions of any other sport, so if you look up maybe the 100-meter dash with Usain Bolt, where it's held so long, and it might take another 10 years to find an athlete that can really challenge that world record, speed climbing is not at that point. I will guarantee everyone else here, there's still a lot of learning to do. There's still a lot of refinement, everything like that. So I would not say that we've reached a peak. Maybe a couple Olympic cycles and a greater gene pool. There's some really interesting talents coming up, and then I'm always obviously trying to get better. I'm quite young, so trying to do this. Like all these people, I would say we are not even close to the human limit of speed climbing.
And something I've seen change is when I first started watching the sport, you had seemingly very muscular people. You're pretty stacked yourself right now, but it seems like it's gone almost the other way, that we're getting like thin and wiry builds. Are builds important in speed climbing, and is there a perfect one?
I would say there could theoretically be a perfect build if you could theoretically find the perfect beta. But again, that point has not really been reached yet. So if you look at Reza Alipur, who's not only been on the circuit for so long, and he's still crushing it, right? 4th place at the Olympics and the 4th fastest athlete in the world at this point. So I would not necessarily say like he's super muscular, he's probably 30 kgs more than me at this point. Maybe not that much, but he's, a quite built guy, and he can generate all that power, and he's quite short.
좋습니다. 통과했어요.
But you have people like me that are taller and can reach a bit further, but as a result of that, maybe can't move their hands as fast out of certain positions. So if you watch Kiramal on the left when he goes, which hopefully he does, he can, during the middle, he'll move his left arm up a little bit faster than someone like me could, or someone like Yaroslav could, if you wanted that quick comparison.
So basically, like Boulder and lead, it's not
Ready.
about the size you are, it's how you deal with your body. Well, let's see what happens here. Yaroslav off to a good start. The Colonel speeding his way upwards. Just incredible race from him. Sub-5 after all of that delay. How does he do something like that?
He has, again, it's a testament of composure. They're sitting behind the wall. It's not warm here. It is quite chilly and still in October. And so they're behind that wall and they're just thinking. They're just doing some sort of technique to get themselves in the best shape they can. Okay, so watch Kiramal's left hand right here. He can move his hand up way faster than Yaroslav can because of his build, because he's a little bit shorter, right? And same thing with me. And if you look at, he just shoots that left arm up through that move. And then I can do the last two moves a little bit faster because I'm a little bit taller and I can get out of that position a little bit better. So when you say perfect build, there's definitely trade-offs.
It's so fascinating, and the fact you can you analyze the route to that level of detail. I think you and Albert are quite similar.
Absolutely, and like there's some Chinese coaches as well, and Hendra, the Indonesian coach. I mean, coaching is a big part of the sport. I would say it's really up there with some of the other Olympic sports where coaching is really, really important.
All right, well, Peng Wu is versus his teammates here, Jingxiang Wang on the right-hand side. Two teammates against each other. You had a very similar race earlier on, and now it's these two. So Peng Wu with a 4.77. This is Jingxiang on the 4.96.
Ready.
So both can go sub-5. Who's going to pull it back on this one? Jingxiang is just ahead, I think, and he is going to take it.
5.158 for Jingxiang Wang. His Western nickname is James, if you'd like to know. And then Peng Wu with a 5.194. So I had to look at the actual wall.
Yeah, me too. I can't see from that distance. You've got better eyes than me. Yeah. So another really close race. Did you see any big differences between the two?
So a little bit of a middle, James had a bit of a slip, a little bit of an inaccuracy. Give himself a big hug between the two of them, the teammates. Jingxiang or James, I'm rooting for him. He's on the cusp of winning his first World Cup. I know he got really close in Chamonix, got really close in Briancha, so happy for him and him progressing. And then Peng Wu, he did take a bit of a vacation after the Olympics. He definitely deserves it. He's receiving some fanfare in China. I've been on Chinese social media, and the amount of people that just love him and think he's getting a modeling career and a singing career.
Wow,
he's doing great. He's doing amazing over there in China.
I want to hear the singing career bit.
Oh man,
the modeling. You got to send me one of his songs, please. We'll play it.
I will, dude.
Yeah.
That's great.
All right, Matteo Zaloni on the right-hand side. Vedrick Leonardo on the left, 4.75. This is a 4.94. Both of these guys are sub-5 seconders as well. Let's see if the world champion can win another race.
World champion versus Olympic champion.
Wow! I thought it was a full start, but it wasn't. Matteo Zaloni speeding up. It could be absolutely anyone's in the air. Matteo takes it.
Matteo, and he is gunning for that season title. It is going to be very interesting to see. Does he win the season overall title? Leonardo, the Olympic champion, defeated. I think he actually missed the buzzer, but I think he would have lost anyway. Good job for Matteo advancing to the semifinal.
Wow, this is going to be tight, isn't it? Let's see this race again. It was completely neck and neck through this. And yeah, as you said, Vedrick missed the timing pad, but yeah, was he behind? I don't know. He's in the air.
Yeah. So if you generally watch a taller athlete like me or Matteo versus a shorter Indonesian athlete, if they're not ahead by the top section, and when Matteo does the skip of the 13th hold and Leonardo does the bump on the 13th hold, the person who does the skip is generally going to win, because when you do that faster, you do it faster, right? So the shorter Indonesian build will get a lead through the middle, and then the taller Sam and Matteo build will make up it up in the top. So I think Matteo was going to win that race regardless, but it would have been interesting to see.
It would have been. Right, Amir Mamaratov on the right against your teammate, Michael Hom. Tell me a bit about Michael quickly.
Michael Hom, he was Youth World Champion 2023, an incredible upcoming athlete. He's from Los Angeles, PR 5.25 in comp. I believe that's his actual PR in comp set this morning. So he's crushing it on the scene. He is representing me in the finals, rooting for my fellow American.
Ready?
Absolutely. Well, let's see if Michael can do it again. He beats Sam next to me in the first race. Amir underway as he speeds through, though. I think Michael is going to be beaten. Amir takes it. And I said beat you. He didn't, of course. It was a full start.
No, he deserves it. Absolutely. He, I'm not one to take away from him. He could have won anyway, regardless.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, good for him. I think probably in 7th or 8th place finish for him, and good to see him progressing on the circuit, and he'll have a better year next year, and he'll really be in the runnings for his hometown Olympic Games 2028.
Yes, LA. We can't wait for that. And just talking about LA, remember paraclimbing is in LA for the Paralympics. That announcement made in Innsbruck. We had a press conference about it the other day in Arco, which was the last Para World Cup of the year.
So tell me more about that. I really didn't figure out. Have they figured out the categories for para
Good question.
in the Paralympics?
No is the answer, because the limitation is the amount of medals. So the IOC only give a certain amount of medals. There are lots of paraclimbing categories. So whatever happens, there will be some sacrifices, some people missing out. Luckily, that decision is nothing to do with me. But yes, it's to be decided very soon.
Yeah, I would definitely give every single IFSC category a Paralympic medal, but I don't think they'll do it. Maybe they will. I think the Paralympic Committee is a different entity and a different decision-making process than the IOC, and I can't really speak to this, but I hope they're a little bit better as far as giving out medals go, because if the IOC wasn't as stingy, we'd have we'd have like all 20 medals like swimming does, but we're making it work.
We are indeed, and it is one of those things that we build towards, and we have to prove ourselves. And what's exciting is we did.
We did, yeah. Paris was a wonderful games for climbing and for speed especially. I think I had so many people just reach out to me and be like, "We're watching," and then to see it do so well in like the Chinese market and the Indonesian market, and like to see that happen and all these people supporting. Was absolutely incredible, and 2 years ago, if you told any speed climber that that's how the sport would progress, that's amazing. And then to see the Olympic final, I believe for both men's and women's, I would have to do the math, but I'm like 99% sure, was the fastest races for men's and women's ever, right? I believe we also had the fastest small final in both as well, but I would have to math check that. But it was just a great spectacle. Every elite athlete showed up. It was sort of a space race as far as these teams trying to send their athletes to the highest stage, and I think we all did a really good job. So yeah, every medalist I feel like it did a really good job of being an ambassador, and I'm really excited for the future of the sport and hopefully more medals. I want to retire like with a good little picture of every single Olympic medal like Michael Phelps.
So 3 at least for you, though. That's many years of training there ahead of you, Sam. All right, well, I think we're waiting for the presentation of the last athletes. A bit of a delay here as we wait for that. And this amazing stadium, the speed wall is part of the lead wall, which is over 40 meters long, 17 meters high. That will be in action tomorrow for the lead qualifier. And then on Sunday, we've got semi-final and finals. So here we go, the athletes introduced. And Sam, tell me about this moment, because you're trying to be focused backstage and suddenly you're hustled out onto a stage, you've got to wave at the audience. Is this a difficult moment?
Yeah, so usually for me personally, I end up shaking the hand and apologizing to every volunteer who has to deal with me, because I'm the type of person that really will stand on, I know when this is going to happen, and I also know the fact they won't start without me, especially for podium ceremonies. Like, they tend to be a bit more lenient. I'm like, if I just won an event, they're not going to start the podium without me. But I'm just saying, like, when they start, like, they're really pushing you out, and you got to put your jacket on, and especially if you just won a race or you're about to go.
Yeah.
There's some stress around that for sure, and that's another thing. Like, speed really requires experience. Experience is the key for this kind of moment. Like, it's really not your first one, and then again there can be delays. I think my first presentation at a World Cup was at Edinburgh, and there was like a 20-minute delay, and it was crazy.
That is crazy, yeah. I mean, as you say, your routines, and your routine is unique, the kick of the wall. Tell me about that one.
Yeah, so since the wall is the same, I have the philosophy that once I kick the wall, that minute, regardless of if I'm in the Olympics, in practice, or at any World Cup, it is the same, and that is my time. After I kick the wall and before I go, that is the same routine every single time, thousands of times I've climbed this route. So that really helps me, and that really gets me in the zone for being the best person I can be and being the best athlete I can be when I get on the wall.
Yes, it's a lovely little tick that once someone drew my attention to it, I can never unsee it whenever you run onto the stage, and I always like to draw people's attention to it.
You could do a bingo card of like all the things that people do. You you might have to go back to ISO and then show off like what people do.
Do you ever try to mess with people's routines? And I know it's a bit evil. But
No. Sometimes I actually feel bad, like if I try to like shake someone's hand or give them a fist bump, like I would feel bad if I get them out of it. So I try to be as respectful as I can. I don't think you really can. I think at the top level, no one really has that fragile of a routine. Like, I think even if someone were to run up to the wall and block my leg when I was going to kick the wall, I would be fine. I'd be like, what? But it's completely fine. I think if you're at this top level, the routine is a luxury. It's a want, not a need. I think anyone can adjust on the fly, especially if you're World Cup finals level.
It's so interesting hearing this literally from the horse's mouth next to me here. Sam ran across the field, having been knocked out, to join us in the commentary box. We did have Albert Oak earlier on and Nasser from Q8 as well, so we've had lots of people in the commentary box. Okay, right, final races. We are waiting for things to get underway. Still a bit of a delay here, and the night air, as you said earlier, it's chilly right now. Does that affect speed climbers negatively?
It depends. So I've had situations where it was really cold. It was really chilly in Chile, actually Santiago, Pan American Games, and this is a stressful Olympic qualifying event, right? So in that situation, they had a 1 minute delay when I was going, and you're wearing nothing but shorts and a tank top. So being sitting there in that cold air, it really gets to you. It gets to your head for sure. And it's a testament of composure. And that story really isn't told that much. You're really only watching it on the wall, but it's stressful for this low margin of error of a sport and this fast of a sport. It's crazy to think that all the things go into it, because a minute delay is 12 times how much you're actually climbing.
Yeah, exactly. And all those little things, as you said, the experience thing was fascinating, because the fact that all those stuff you mentioned and all the things that can go wrong, you know, if it's your first time dealing with it, that must be very hard to process in the moment.
Yeah, I would say that the process of getting better and taking the leap into being able to win races in finals is really one of, every time you make one of those mistakes, it's like, you know, you have to learn from it and you have to figure out, okay, I don't want to do that in the future. I want to have all my stuff. The travel becomes second nature as far as it goes. Like, you're no longer super like stressed out over, am I going to miss my flight? You know, you get into a routine of traveling 5 or 6 times internationally every year. So it's really a part of it. This event, I don't think I've learned much. Maybe that I should be a bit more stern when I complain to the IFSC about the wall.
So I think that's fair enough. Right, Rajia Salsabilia on the right there. So on the left-hand side, and Lee Jung Deng on the right. Any predictions for this race, Sam?
I might take Deng, although Deng has had an exceptional season because she has gone to every World Cup and taken home a silver medal at the Olympics. It's really like astounding. She went like all the way across to Salt Lake City to Brianchon, and I don't know. I think she went back to China before the Paris Games.
Wow. And
she definitely, I mean, she didn't win, but she made Miroslav bleed as far as going below the previous world record in the women's.
Yeah, it was one of the greatest races I've ever seen, that one. Right, here we go. Rajia on the left, Lee Jung on the right, and we're underway. Lee Jung Deng very fast off the bottom, but she pauses. She's going to lose this one. Rajia, oh no, she slips. Can she keep it
Interesting one, and
together?
we'll see. 7.708 for Rajia, and she will take it in advance to the grand final. I think my prediction was a bit off. Deng, a very consistent athlete. That's a rare slip from her for sure. Maybe the post-Olympics break really got to her, but she did do exceptionally well, and she'll race for a bronze medal next time.
Wow, well that was back and forth, wasn't it? For a moment, I thought the Rajia was going to slip at the top, but and let Deng back in, but she didn't manage to. Oh, she managed to recover well after that moment.
Yeah. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes you can notice your opponent has slipped, and it can even just be from the peripheral vision, and it can really change the way you climb, and it could be, you know, a negative thing. So just a bit of a twist there. She overshot her foot to the right, and then wasn't able to get on the holds correctly for the start to the ladder.
Oh, such a shame, but that was the slip there, the left foot skating around. She did find that acceleration a little bit of a shock on her face. I think she knew she got away with that one.
Yeah. Sometimes it happens, and that's speed climbing. You you might want to every race to be an exceptional, clean run, your PR on every single for both athletes, but a lot of times that's not the case. A lot of times other things happen, and when you get a loss for something and you get a win for something, that's part of competing as well, and you have to realize that.
Well, I won't ask for your predictions with this one, so we don't curse these athletes, but it's 2 Chinese athletes up against each other.
I am not going to say anything, but, Zhao Yufei might be an exceptional lineup. It's just,
Yeah. Zhao Yufei versus Xiangmin Wang here. So here we go again. Pretty similar PPs, but Yufei is technically quicker on paper, which means nothing when we get to this point. Here we go. This is the race to see who will get into big final or small final. Absolutely equal. I think Wang is slightly pulling ahead here. She is. Look at this. No, a little pause.
And Zhao Yufei, I didn't say she won. I just said she was exceptional.
Wow. I mean, I'm at a loss for words on that one because she managed to keep going. This is what is important in speed climbing. You don't want to stop, do you? Even if you slip, you never
want to stop. There is 0 instance in speed climbing in which you ever don't want to speed climb. Maybe if you're not clipped in, but sometimes it does happen. So I don't want to jinx that hard.
I've seen it. It's not good.
Like even if there's a false start, like your opponent false starts, or in a practice run, you just got to keep going. You gotta do it, and you gotta 10% of the time, if you slip, you can win the race. So that can happen, and so that did happen. So Zhao Yufei will advance to the grand final.
Wow, what a back and forth race that was. Incredible stuff here. We'll move on to the men's in a minute. But yeah, incredible. Back and forth, slips all over the place, and what a recovery there. Right, so time for the men. As we wait behind that billowing curtain, there is the athletes, and we'll just check the results once more here. Final and small final to come in a couple of minutes after we see the men's race decided.
Yeah, so I'm personally torn because if Mateo wins this overall World Cup, I think he will win the overall. I'm not exactly sure about the math. I think it'll be a turn-up if I did get 9th place, but it's an interesting one to see. I'm really good friends with Mateo, and so I'd like to see him succeed. He's never actually gotten a World Cup medal. He won the World Championship, and he's gotten 4th place in Salt Lake City, but it will be great to see him get his first World Cup medal through this semifinal, and he has a good chance.
Absolutely. Well, I've been told he has to win this thing to take that away from you, which is a big ask. He's up against the great athletes. Yeah, but I mean, the maths might be wrong. I've just been told by the voice of my ear.
Off the top of my head, and so they're both gunning for their first World Cup victory, and Caramel first in a while, at least. So he's held the world record for a long time, but not converted it to victory at a high clip. So I'm sure he'd love to get past it.
Yeah, and look at those PBs as well, in the 4.9s for both of them. All right, this is going to be a very close race here as we wait for start orders once more. But it's always fast from Colonel Katabin, but look at it, it's a big slip. Wang will take this easily.
Jin Cheng with 5.1. I think actually Caramel slid off the pad as well on that lane. So me and Caramel are actually the only ones that swing on the start now. You can gain about 0.1, 0.2 seconds by doing it, but there's the caveat of if sometimes if the buzzer isn't pressed on the right time, or the drag coefficient is foot just a little bit. Actually, no. He did seem to recover it well and just had another slip.
Albert talked about that swing start. He just said it's very difficult to pull off.
Yeah, I would say I definitely gained respect for everyone that does it. Relearning it after the Olympics. I took about a month break and got back on the wall to train for this World Cup. And that was for sure the hardest thing I relearned, was that it's so complicated because it integrates the beeps in order to cue so you can get off the ground in a good time, and you're swinging so that you can get extra momentum on the first hold while the timer isn't going. So it's extraordinarily hard to get well, to move at the right time and to not lose your momentum. And then if you have too much momentum, it's almost like a dyno, where if you have too much momentum, you can almost fall away from the hold, or you can get only one hand in the first hold. So lots of things that could go wrong with it, which makes it such a complicated move.
And do the advantages outweigh those disadvantages?
Absolutely. I would not hold a world record if I didn't swing start.
Wow. There we go. All right. So next race, the decider for the small final, big final, Matteo Zelloni and Miet Mamaratov on the right. And remember, Matteo Zelloni trying to get an overall title for 2024 as well. He was quick recently in Bologna at that competition.
really set the precedent for coming and joining you in the box after elimination. I was like, I'm getting in here.
Heck yeah, you're always welcome. Here we go then, next race.
Ready?
Well, it's good from both of them. Amir is slightly ahead though. Mateo's going to have to find something in the top section. Both slip. Mateo goes. Amir wins. And that should mean that you win the overall title as well. Congratulations.
Thank you, Matt. It's such a weird way to win something.
Yeah.
It's like, man. But yeah, it's definitely a really cool goal of mine was to win the series. So 5th place 2022, 3rd place last year, and my first World Cup Series victory 2024. So good for that, but let's not talk about only me. Amir had a bit of a slip through the skip move, and then recovered actually using a different beta, using the high foot. Sometimes that happens with people who maybe aren't as confident in their beta, using a different beta in order to recover the run.
Wow. So you changed that mid-run, you're saying?
Yeah. I would not recommend doing that. I've done it once before, but I would definitely not say it's the best way to win a race and to recover. I would just have confidence in your own beta. But worked for him. He advances to the final.
I just want to say as well as a caveat, we're giving you the unofficial title, but it hasn't been officially confirmed. So.
I'm like 99% sure. I did the math a little bit beforehand. I'm pretty sure, because I'm about 700 points ahead, I think, through the currency. I don't know, but I'm like pretty sure. If I jinxed it, Mateo deserves it.
No, I always have to put these caveats in just in case.
Yeah, I think a lot of people skip Brian Shun, including myself. And you have those kind of caveats, but if you said, hey, everyone is going for this title, we have a world championship, but like in, say, like F1, you get to be the world champion if you win the series. And so for speed climbing, in which you can have a low win rate and still be really good and be getting podiums and getting, solid times, but maybe not winning every single one, the series would mean be the most true tale of how you're doing, I would say.
Yeah, Sam, I mean, I'm completely in agreement with you, and I do hope that comes in because it would really change things up. Right, we are watching some of the highlights from what we've already seen. It's been a really dramatic finals here in the Seoul evening air as we come up to the final part of this speed competition. And just to remind everyone, tomorrow will be the lead qualifiers, which we don't broadcast, but we will bring you a highlight show, and you can check out pictures on our Instagram. And then on Sunday, busy day, semi-final and finals, we say goodbye to the 2024 season. Comp climbing itself hasn't finished. I mean, Sam, you were saying that 4-lane competition in Madrid's coming up. Not sure if it will be broadcasted. There's the Neon Masters that's going to happen. So there's quite a few things on the horizon.
See if I can join you in the box for Boulders. That was fun. For Neon. Are you invited? Are you coming?
Yes, I am going.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, that's always a cool event. I think you can kind of tell at this event, a lot of us aren't really in season. Having a World Cup in October is a bit awkward because usually the latest is around September, so the times haven't really been as fast. It doesn't translate as well to Boulder and Lead because it's more of a comparative thing. But for speed, it's like you can tell a bit more objectively that we're a little not as strong. But Paris was such a spectacle that it makes up for it.
You'd be hard pressed to notice that you weren't as strong, to be honest with you. There's still some really quick times here. Right, small final time. Li Jung-deng versus Shengun Wang. Two teammates. This is the race for bronze, probably the cruelest race in any final. The loser just gets 4th place. The winner will take a medal. Here we go. Li Jung-deng off to a good start, but she's now a little bit behind.
And we'll see. She had the Tomoa pop, and she'll see if he can come up in the 6.802 versus 6.901.
So Shengun Wang takes that, and 4th for Li Jung-deng. A smile on her face, but from that gold medal. She has
had a long season, and she deserves her overall title. Going to, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 continents? Like, that's so many flights. I think, like, China had sent no other, like, A-list athletes to Salt Lake City, and she still went. And she's just like, went to Brianchon, went to Chamonix, silver medal in Paris. Like, it is like almost an anomaly of like the way you would do that. Like my body could not handle that. Like I like having my schedule in which I can have like this event is my peak. This one she's just like go and putting up really elite times at every single competition.
Yeah, it is incredible. There are some athletes who do that. I mean, I remember. Oh my goodness, my mind has gone completely blank. A Spanish athlete won a gold medal at Tokyo.
Alberto Hinozoto.
Yes, Alberto. I literally forgot how to think then. Alberto,
man,
he
I'm
did
telling him.
please do, it'll kill me. Yeah, Alberto, he did a similar thing, you know, like so many comps. He was in Briançon, like days before Tokyo.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, some people do enjoy the pressure of it and enjoy competing so much. Matteo, he goes to every single Italian Cup, every single European Cup, every single World Cup, and the Olympics, right? This man, he just loves what he does, like, a lot. Not that I don't, I just like, you know, physically being at home for 3+ weeks is really nice.
Yeah. All right, Matteo Zaloni on the right, Kermel Katabin on the left. This is the race for bronze.
Important bronze medal race. Matteo going for his first World Cup medal.
Come on, Matteo, can he get it? But he's up against a powerhouse. Kermel Katabin is ahead. Matteo won't take it tonight.
And 4.991.
What happened there? Matteo just couldn't find... Somebody lost it at the beginning.
Sensations just kind of get there for him, but good performance for him, 4th place, and he will finish in silver medal position on the World Cup overall circuit. I don't know who will finish 3rd to round out the podium, so we'll definitely see.
You can find out in a minute when you go on the podium.
I will find out. I will find out.
Have a look to your left and see. Well, that was Matteo making that mistake down low. He couldn't recover. Kermel takes a medal. Let's watch this again.
Yeah, so he was moving fast. What he did is he put his foot too high over the hold, and that caused him to come out of sequence a little bit. Kermel did a great competition, finishing with his 2nd bronze medal of the season. I think he might get maybe the 3rd place overall, but we'll see.
Well, 2 races to go here. Next up, Rajia Salsabilia versus Zhao Yaifei. China versus Indonesia in this final race for the women.
So I actually think, just pulling it up on my phone, I think Jin Cheng has a chance, if he wins, to pass Matteo for the series silver medal. So we'll see how that will work out, math-wise. I wish we had just a little like calculator with
be nice,
everything.
Yes. All right. So final race here, and Rajia getting a massive cheer from her teammates there as she approached the wall. But she's up against Zhao Yaifei. 6.39, 6.41 PBs, another close one. But Rajia, you'd think, might take this one. Let's see what happens. We've had so much drama, I've given up even guessing.
Ready?
Oh, good start from Yaifei there.
Yaifei is a bit ahead, but we'll see if... Ooh, okay. And Yaifei might get close with a 6.781, and she will win the World Cup. I believe that might be her first World Cup victory.
Well, look at the smile on her face. I think that just says it all, doesn't it?
I think it does.
Oh.
Yeah,
I love watching that moment where an athlete achieves a world record. You know, sorry, you know what it's like.
Both.
Yeah.
Exceptional performance from her. Had a good... She's had a great improvement, sort of a breakout season this time around. She went to OQS, got that Olympic spot when there was already one female Chinese spot taken. So competing against a stacked team, and took it home, and then went to the Olympics and had a good competition there. And she's just kind of on the up and up. I believe she's only 20 or 21 years old. So pretty young, and definitely improving to try and get to the levels of Amira Salandeng.
Wow, big future for her then. We're watching that replay again, and look at the celebration afterwards. Just a great moment as she takes that victory. So just one to go for the men.
Yeah. Jin Cheng and Amir, neither of which have won a World Cup before, so we will have a new victor on the circuit.
So here we go. Amir on the right-hand side. He's up against Jing Shuang on the left-hand side. And that was her first gold medal, by the way.
Congratulations. And a quick shout out to my teammate, Annie Sanders, for taking home the Boulder. She did amazing. That was so cool to watch.
We've got an interview with her coming tomorrow, actually, where she goes through some of the individual boulders and how she was feeling, because it was a spectacular performance.
She is an exceptional problem solver. Watching her, like, whenever the moment when you're bouldering, when you just look back after either a fall or just turning around, she is one of the best problem solvers in the world, I would say.
Yeah. All right, here we go then. Last race of the last World Cup of 24. Amir on the right-hand side. Jing Shuang on the left. Here we go.
Ready?
It's fast from Amir there.
Amir is still And it looks in Jin Chang. Oh, we have a dramatic race, and Jin Chang will take his first World Cup victory. 6.2 seconds will bring it home for him. That is his first win, the 19-year-old from Beijing, I believe. And congratulations to him. He doesn't quite show it, but his coach, Xi Jinping, he's quite happy for him.
Yeah.
So yeah, just barely missed out on the Olympics. Phenomenal placements, multiple World Cup medals. So congratulations to him. I think he's soaking it in for sure.
That was so back and forth. Let's see it again. So Amir slipped there. I thought he was gone. I think Xingchang slipped there. Amir came back. Amir paused. Xingchang takes it at the top with a slap of the wrist onto that timing pad. Unbelievable stuff here. Well, look, Sam, I'm going to say goodbye to you because I've got to go and do some interviews, and I'm going to imagine you'll want to go and celebrate with some people down at the front. But thank you for joining me. It was very unexpected, but
absolutely, yeah. I've always wanted to join you for a speed event, and there's never been a good opportunity. So yeah, this is great. You know, obviously I would have loved to advance to this final, but it's a good opportunity to show off what I know about it, and yeah.
Again, well, in the nicest possible way, I hope to never see you in here again.
I'll join you for Boulder Elite any day, or women's speed if it's on a separate day. I would love to.
All right, Sam. Well, thank you so much, mate. Right. Have a great off-season. I'll see you next year. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Right, I'm going to head off and do some interviews now. I'll see you guys in a couple of minutes and let you enjoy these shots. I will return for podiums.
즐길 수 있는 그런 분위기 만들어주셨으면 좋겠습니다. 바로 나가지 마시고요. 끝까지 저희 IFC 월드컵과 함께 해주시면 너무나 감사하겠습니다.
누가 먼저 살지 모르겠어요. 저는 원래 스타일이 이런데 아나운서 스타일이 다 다른 거예요. 알겠습니다. 여자 경기는 게임 중이에요. 다음에 또 인원이 되면 또
you guys are all medal and
Right, ladies and gentlemen, apologies about all the delays. We had an issue with lighting for the interviews. So what we're going to do is skip to the podium instead, do that first, and then hopefully we can find our winners for an interview after that. And I think we're about underway here and getting ready to go for our podiums. And congratulations to all the athletes, of course, who did so well here tonight. And a big thank you to my co-commentators, Samuel Watson, Albert Oak, and of course, NASA from Kuwait. It's incredible to hear their thoughts. Okay, women's up first. Jingcheng Wang in the middle there. Taking the top spot. Emir Maimuratov in second. And Kermel Katabin third.
관객 여러분, 스피드 여자 메달리스트들 큰 박수와 함께 환영해 주시기 바랍니다. The medals will be presented by IFSC Secretary General Deborah Garish,
Secretary General
by Marco Scolaris,
Debbie and Marco Scolaris up on stage to present the medals to the athletes. And the overall ceremony will take place after this.
수고해 주시겠습니다. Bronze medalist representing China, Wang Shengyang.
Nguyen Wang there taking the bronze medal. And Rajya Salsabilia for silver. And there is Marco Scolaris, who hands over the flowers. And a rather cool, cute toy, which quite a few people have been messaging me to try to steal. And I just want to confirm I cannot steal that cuddly toy.
Silver medalist representing
quite like one myself, to be honest.
Indonesia.
Silver medalist Rajya Salsabilia takes the silver. Of course, she would have wanted gold in that last race. But really cool to see. What a race it was for the women and, of course, for the men as well. They really are rather cool, those little toys. I like them.
And ladies and gentlemen, gold medalist and winner.
Zhao Yafei takes the win here this evening in Seoul. Incredible stuff as she raises her arms to the air.
Congratulations.
And Debbie hanging the medal around her neck. Now it's national anthem time.
And ladies and gentlemen, please rise
Listen
for
to
the
the
national
Chinese
anthem
national
of
anthem.
China. Please look at the screen
Celebrate
on the
with the
left.
athletes.
관객 여러분, 지금부터 중국 애국가 제창을 위해서 자리에서 일어나 주시기 바라겠고요. 왼쪽에 있는 화면을 바라봐 주시면 되겠습니다.
Well, congratulations to the women. Incredible stuff from them.
Ladies and
And
gentlemen,
they'll gather
from now on the
for the
IFSC
podium,
World
of
2024 shooting photo style.
All together
지금부터
at the top for the
사진
photographers
촬영
to
시간이
take
있겠습니다.
those pictures.
Deborah Garich and Marcus Flores, yes, put together and photo time, please. Thank you.
Lovely set of flowers as well, and a great way to finish 2024 as we look ahead to 2025. And the schedule released on the RFSU's website, so you can find out where we'll be. There's a couple to be confirmed events, but most of the season is in place. It looks like a good one, especially at the beginning. New countries, we go to Brazil, can't wait for that. So, time for the men.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the All Speaking Victory Ceremony Boulder, IFC World Cup Seoul 2024.
So time for the men's competition here.
스포츠 클라이밍 월드컵 시상식이 있겠습니다. Please welcome the medalists for the speed climbing men.
And the podium for them. Kemal Katabin, bronze medalist.
The medals will be presented by IFC
Slips along the way on his race.
And accompanied by
Absolute lightning on the wall. Not his knights, but he has got a medal, and that is a huge deal for any speed climber. The amount of work that these athletes do, they work so hard.
Bronze medalist representing Indonesia, Kemal Katabin.
He says thank you to his supporters and the Indonesian team who always get behind their athletes.
Silver medalist representing Kazakhstan,
Amir Maimuratov will take the silver medal. The Olympian standing in our second place. I think we will see the overall winners podium soon. Entirely confirmed who's won that, but we'll find out very soon. And lastly, Jingsheng Wang on the top spot. Gold medal for him.
The winner of the IFBC World Cup 2024, representing China, Wang Xinshan.
Go walk round to the front. Congratulates his fellow athletes. And back to the back. Why not? Medal around his neck. Trophy in hand. Marcus Colares there, just turning it the right way. We do want to see the writing on that, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you can, please rise for the national anthems of China. 관객 여러분, 자리에서 일어나 주셔서 중국의 애국가를 들어보도록 하겠습니다. 화면 왼쪽을 바라봐 주시기 바랍니다.
session's done. The athletes will gather
Ladies and
at the
gentlemen,
top.
let's have the trophy winners of the IFSC Speed World Cup. Let's get the photo time.
As they're ushered forward onto that top spot. Right, well, at some point, I think, I'm going to go do some interviews. Not entirely sure. We'll work it out as we go. But for now, we'll enjoy these final shots with the athletes.
Okay then, should we please wait VIP? Thank you.
As we say goodbye to them and congratulations to them all.
Thank you guys, thank you, congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, please a big round of applause to athletes. Congratulations. 자, 이제 이어서 여러분, 곧바로 준비가 되면 잠시 후에 올해 이제 IFSC 월드컵의 시리즈를 장식을 하는 시상식을 이어지도록 하겠습니다. Ladies and gentlemen, here's an announcement. Please, someone watching Amateur Zuluni, Wang Shinsong, the players are ready for the Series 2024 World Cup ceremony. Once again, someone watching Matteo Zuluni, Wang Shinsong, please get ready for the Series of Speed World Cup 2024 ceremony. Thank you. And then here's an announcement. Danny Zhuang, Kaluka Natalia, and Tom Chini, please also ready for the Women Series World Cup 2024 ceremony. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, victory ceremony for the IFSC Women Speed World Cup Series 2024. 관객 여러분, 지금부터 2024 IFSC 여자 스피드 월드컵 시리즈 부문 시상식을 진행하도록 하겠습니다. Please welcome the trophy winners of the speed event. 관객 여러분, 큰 박수와 함께 스피드 선수들을 환영해 주시길 바라겠습니다. The trophies will be presented by IFSC Secretary General Deborah Garich. 오늘의 시상에는 IFSC 사무총장인 데브라 가리치님께서 수고를 해 주시겠습니다. The third place representing Korea, 정지민. Second place, representing Poland, Kaluka Natalia. But Kaluka is not here, so congratulations, Kaluka. And then, ladies and gentlemen, first place and winner of the IFSC Speed World Cup Series 2024, representing China, Dan Li-Zhuang. Ladies and gentlemen, if you can, please rise for the national anthems of China. 관객 여러분, 자리에 일어나셔서 중국의 국가를 들어보도록 하겠습니다. 화면 왼쪽을 바라봐 주십시오. Congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, the trophy winners of the IFSC Speed World Cup Series 2024. Let's have a shooting photos time. Deborah and Marco, please wait together and take photos. Yep, thank you. Thank you, congratulations, thank you, thank you. You got a great job for 1 year, 2024, congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, from now on, we're gonna start the victory ceremony for the IFSC Men's Speed World Cup Series 2024. Please welcome the trophy winners of the speed events. 관객 여러분, 2024 남자 스피드 월드컵 시리어스 스피드 3명의 선수들을 큰 박수로 환영해 주시기 바랍니다. The trophies will be presented by IFSC President Marco Maria Scolaris, accompanied by Deborah Garrich, IFSC Secretary General. 네, 시상에는 IFC 데브리아 사무총장님과 마르코 스콜라리스의 회장님께서 수고를 해주시겠습니다. The third place representing China, Wang Jinsheng. Second place, representing Italy, Giovanni Matteo. Ladies and gentlemen, first place and winner of the IFC Spin World Cup Series 2024, representing United States of America, Samuel Watson. Ladies and gentlemen, if you can, please rise for the national anthems of United States of America. 관객 여러분, 자리에 일어나셔서 미국의 애국가를 들어보도록 하겠습니다. 화면 왼쪽을 바라봐 주십시오. Congratulations! Congratulations! Ladies and gentlemen, the trophy winners of the IFC Speed World Cup Series 2024. Let's get a shooting photos. Okay, Deborah and Marco, coming together. Thank you. 자, 여러분 오늘 함께 해주셔서 너무나 감사합니다. 저희는 내일 있을 리드 예선전으로 다시 돌아오겠습니다. 여러분 좋은 밤 되십시오. 고맙습니다. Ladies and gentlemen, at the third of the day of IFC World Cup Seoul 2024, this game is all over. So great and good night. And let's meet tomorrow at lead this qualified test. Thank you.
왜요? 어때? 11시 반이에요? 11시 반에 끝나고 7시 나왔는데
Jingqiang, congratulations on your victory. Absolutely incredible. Tell me about that last race.
欣赏他说非常祝贺你取得了这站冠军，表现非常的出色和优秀，能和我们分享一下你关于这场比赛的一个感受吗？
没有什么感受，挺好了。然后呢，这是第一次拿冠军，然后挺开心了。
Yes, this is my first time to win the champion in the World Cup. It's my first time, so I feel really happy for this. It's a wonderful experience. Thank you so much.
Well, look, congratulations. I'm going to let you go because it's a late night for everyone, but you enjoy that gold medal and good luck for next season.
对，他说这个今天也是你享受胜利的这个一个晚上，然后祝你后边的比赛和下一个赛季一切顺利。
哦，谢谢。
Thank you so much. 那可以了。
OK，
好。
哦，我走了。
好嘞，好嘞。好。你自己不能说。
不能。
你这怎么不能？那你就好好说，别说太难的，我到时候翻译不了。
So, Zhao Yaifai, tell me a little bit about that final race. Give me some details about it.
请你能不能跟我们讲一下你在决赛当中的一些细节，再回顾一下当时比赛的一个情况，跟大家再讲一讲。
主要还是专注自己，然后听一点音乐，然后就是有一些心理暗示。
In the final race round, and I really focus on myself and on the background, and I listen to some music to make me the little bit relax, and then the focus on the race. Then I win the game. Yeah.
It's your first ever gold medal. What's it like winning your first gold?
这应该是你世界杯的第一个冠军。然后他说，那个你有什么样的感受？能跟大家再分享一下吗？你的心情？
是的，是我世界杯的第一个冠军，我很自豪能为祖国升起这面国旗，然后很开心。
Yes, actually, it's my first champion in the World Cup series. So I really proud for myself today's performance, and really happy for my country to raise the national flag and want to enjoy this game.
Well, look, well done. I'm sure there's going to be lots more medals in your future. Congratulations.
他说你今后一定会前途一片光明的，也祝你一切顺利。
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, guys. Well done.
Let's go. Let's go. Great job, Mateo. 자, 여러분 이렇게 해서 오늘 2024 서울 IFC 클라이밍 월드컵을 모두 다 마쳤습니다. 저희는 잠시 후 준비가 되는 대로 남녀 메달 시상식으로 돌아오도록 하겠습니다. 잠시만 기다려 주십시오.